Mr. Man, Australia. Mr. Uppity. Mr. Uppity is one of the rudest people in the world, if not the rudest. He was rude to everybody and every pony. So, in Greendale, which was where he was living in, he had no friends at all. Not one. Miserable old Uppity, they would call him, and he certainly looked it. Now, as well as being rude, Mr. Uppity was rich, very rich. One of the richest people in the world, if not the richest. He had the longest train. And he had a house which was in the village next to the shed yard. There he lived, all alone. One day, Mr. Uppity was walking out of his house when he heard a voice. "Hello," it said. Mr. Uppity looked. There, standing beside the lamp-post, was Twilight Sparkle. "Aren't you going to say hello to me?" she asked. "Go away," said Mr. Uppity rudely. You're that Mr. Uppity who is rude," said Twilight. "Well, I know some pony who wants to see you." And she walked off. Mr. Uppity's curiosity got the better of him. "In there," said Twilight, "my house." "This is where you live?" asked Mr. Uppity. "Yes, I moved here with my friends." "Well, what's the use of you living in a house? You live in a stable." "Come on." They went inside, then went to a room. Celestia met them. "Here's Mr. Uppity, Celestia. I found him walking from his house." "Ah, so you're the fellow who goes about being rude to everyone and doesn't have any friends at all." "What does it look like?" said Mr. Uppity rudely. "I can see what I heard is true. You're much too puffed up for your own importance, so I think you should stop it or you'll shrink to a goblin size." Mr. Uppity, before he went home, thought if he would let Twilight show him what he had. "I wasn't told you had wings on yourself." "Well, I'm a princess and I wear a crown." "They do look nice together." Then he left for home. The following day, Mr. Uppity went to Tanner to meet wee Georgie Wood. He'd never seen him before, He passed a boy playing with a ball. "Excuse me," he said, "could I get past, please?" The boy moved. Mr. Uppity didn't shrink. He was glad he didn't get that shrinking feeling when he walked on. Then he met Caroline, who was on her way to market. "Excuse me," she said. "Could you tell me the time, please?" "Well, it's 25 past 9.
Thanks.
Mr. Uppity met with Georgie, who was getting steamed up. "You look restored. Your colour matches my hat." "Morning, sir. Thanks. Your grass on the street, too. I had it for years, just only needs a clean once a week." Then he was shown where he lived. Mr. Uppity realized one thing he was using: his manners. He liked it, and he was never rude. He had lots of friends. He's still the richest man, perhaps the richest man in the world. And you know what words he used? "Please and thank you." That's what he says.